The first movie that I'm gonna talk today is The Boy 2. This film contradicts things from the first movie because in the first one they tell us that Bram's doll is controlled by human Brahms. But in the second one, it is more like the doll is possessed by some evil entity. Another thing that makes me not like this movie is the mom. Finally, this film tries too hard to be your typical horror movie. It didn't turn out good. 2 out of 10. The next thing that I'm gonna talk about is the series Alice in Borderland. This TV show has similar story to the big hit Squid Game, but I think it is more violent and darker because they are in this alternative Japan that the people are forced to play really deadly games and they have visas for the living. It feels horrible. The deaths and the characters are suffering. Has a good and smart protagonist. 6 out of 10. The next film is Fear Street 1, 1994. This film has a nice story and it kept me invested. The protagonist is really good and brave. This movie makes good inclusion with the couple of lesbians. I'm removing a point because of the reason of the each wanting to kill Sam. 9 out of 10. The next on the list is Eli. This movie is really good, although it doesn't scare that much. It gives you a bad feeling when the story goes on. I love that it's so unpredictable and it's unique from the average horror movie. 9.5 out of 10. Next on the list is Hashtag Alive. This movie is really similar to the film called Hush, but this movie does it better. Seeing the character's survival is quite eye-catching and keeps you invested watching it. The characters are really intelligent for a horror movie. The appearance of the zombies is really creepy and gruesome, meaning that they have incredible looks. 8.5 out of 10. The next one is The Babysitter. This movie is really creepy and gruesome, has cool protagonists and characters, is eye-catching and keeps you invested watching the movie. I think that the storyline was a bit superficial. 7.5 out of 10. Next on the list is House of Mouse Villains. It's a really creative and fun movie. Sure gives you the Halloween vibes. Has cool songs and unusual stories. You see the Disney villains win. 7 out of 10. Next in the list is the Hotel Transylvania Saga. The Hotel Transylvania Saga has some memorable characters and funny moments. The only ones that I like are the first one and the third one because of their creativity and good storyline. If you speak Spanish, definitely it is a must watch in Spanish. The second one and the third one are my least favorites because they are not memorable and lack logic. Hotel Transylvania 1, 10 out of 10. Second one, 4 out of 10. Third one, 8 out of 10. And the fourth one, 4 out of 10. Next on the list is Pinocchio live action 2022. I found this movie nice. It gives Geppetto a backstory and I love how Tom Hanks played Geppetto. Pinocchio in this film is a cutie and it's more reasonable. What I didn't like was Jiminy Cricket. He was the worst conscience for Pinocchio. The movie wouldn't change if they removed him. The Pleasure Island, I found that really creepy and loved the new design for Monstro. 7 out of 10. Next on the list is Halloween Town 1. The movie is pretty average because of its storyline and the villains. The only character that I enjoyed was the grandmother. Characters like the mom and Dylan, I found them annoying. A good thing the characters of Halloween Town look really creepy and gives Halloweeny vibes. 6 out of 10. Last but not least is Hocus Pocus 2. First of all, I feel really concerned about the people of previous generations that saw the first one in the 90s and waited 29 years hoping that for a good sequel. But this film is a disillusion and the plot is really stupid and the teens are not good characters at all. Also, the ending felt really pathetic. 0 out of 10.